All right, guys. I want to make a video about why you'll never be as good as me. Okay, this isn't gonna be. I'm gonna make this a deep video though. Okay, not just a sucking my own dick kind of video. It's gonna be a deep video about why you guys will never be as good as me, as I am at video games. Okay. Before I get into that, remember to leave us like, sub, silly comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. I still got to upload those other turkey videos. I still got other real videos to do, but again, I just got COVID again recently, and I still am dealing with this infection that I got from Turkey. Still 2 months later, it just goes to show you, you know what I mean? In and out of the hospital, dude. Don't get sick because you guys have no idea what it's like to be as sick as I am. Where it's why I got to keep myself so healthy, because if I get sick, I am just sick for so long. But I want to comment on a few things, and again, why you'll never be as good as me. This isn't totally a dick sucking video, though, believe it or not, for me saying that, but I just want to show you some examples of something fun. I'm gonna synergistically put these pictures together. Apparently, there was a plus R Discord tournament recently, Saturday. So I guess it already happened. Actually, thinking about it, but it was a beginner tournament. Now, if you recall, I just think this is funny. It looks like this guy's kind of agreeing with something that I've said. I don't know. I didn't read all the comments, you know. Sometimes people send me stuff, so thank you. And then sometimes I look it up. Didn't bother to look at everything, but you know what I mean? Just took the screen cap of guys showed me. I looked it up, screen cap, whatever. So there's a beginner tournament. Well, let's remember the Plus R Discord, the biggest Guilty Gear Discord there is apparently, is the same Discord who says that somebody who has played 12,000 matches is a beginner. And me, if you recall, I showed you how much I played. Was it something like I played 1,000 matches or something? And what was it like? Was it 1,000 or 2,000 matches? I don't remember what it was. You'd have to go watch the video. We looked at it together. Was it 1,000 or 2,000 matches in like 10, 14 years, whatever it's been? And these guys, technically, if that motherfucker can say that he's a beginner and he's played 12,000 matches, you know what I mean? And me beating him doesn't count. What am I? Again, I'm a baby, apparently. If you can say you played 12,000 matches and you're a beginner, ridiculous. So I saw that, and I want to show some other things too. Again, we're going to make this together. I mean, first Clayton Chapman, who called me out, now Jason. We're going to get to this. I called you out because, again, you go around talking shit about me with other people, and you claim to be a beginner, and you've played 12,000 times. You've played the game more than I have in like 10, 14 years, whatever it is. We looked at it in that video, whatever it was. Ridiculous. And then, I mean, first Clayton Chapman called, now they said, we need to get them to beef together. So, I mean, you can look at it. You know what? From what I know about this Jason Riot guy, apparently he's considered good from what I know. But anytime I've actually watched him play and I see people sucking his cock, and again, you know, if he's good, he's good. You know what I mean? Props to him. You know, if you're good, you're good. It is whatever. You know what I mean? But people give this guy props for doing stuff that people said I was cheating when I did. You know what I mean? I guess I don't really play Soul anymore. I don't really play the game, period. But, you know, when I was doing that stuff with Soul, and everybody was like, oh, you're cheating. That's not real. So, in that perspective, I'm not impressed by him. You know what I mean? I'm not impressed by someone that gets credit for stuff that I used to do when people said it was cheating. You know what I mean? If he's good, he's good. But, you know, what I take that as is the community, again, is so butthurt that I have done so much in games despite not dedicating my lives. I have multiple lives. Actually, technically, I have been dying before many times. You know what I mean? So I got a few quarters left. I got a few continues. I'm hard to kill. What can I say? You know what I mean? So, but I mean, I basically took that as how insecure are you guys? You know what I mean? That you want me to beef with you guys who dedicate your lives to this game, right? This is why you guys will never be as good as me at video games, because you talk about me still. You know what I mean? I got hospital stuff I'm doing. You know what I mean? I got so many other things going on in lives at video games. Not that I don't like video games. Obviously, I can still talk about a video game. Doesn't mean I need to play it. You know what I mean? I still, you know, it's I don't hate video games. I just dislike the community. I'm not impressed by it. Not impressed by you guys, right? You know what I mean? You guys are so insecure that you want me to beef with somebody who plays these games seriously. You want me to beef with somebody that you now give credit to doing stuff that when I was doing, you said it was fake. You know what I mean? You guys are mad that I beat you when you played the game 12,000 matches. When I had 1,000 matches in 10, 14 years, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. You guys will never be as good as me because you're not me. And the deep thing that I want to get in this video is you'll never be as good as me because you're not me. If you want to be somebody, how can you actually be somebody else, right? The strange thing is, even when I was a quotation marks competitive player, even though I've proved that I can still beat a lot of fucking people, apparently, you know what I mean? Unless other people are using their accounts. If you recall correctly, Clayton Chapman, with no practice, has beaten multiple people that are on that we're on that American versus Japan team with a fake account. People that dedicate their lives to me have lost to me in this game. And I sure as fuck barely play it whatsoever, as I've showed. You'll never be better than me because you're not me. And it's even when I was a quotation marks competitive player, I never had those urges. I don't think I ever had an urge, even when I was thinking back in the Street Fighter days, reading about guys like Tomo and Mike Watson. I don't think I ever had the urge, even as a kid, to be like, wow, I want to beat Mike Watson. I want to beat Tomo. And then, then you hear about the Japanese. I don't think I've ever, if I had or I have had, whatever, again, my English sucks. I can't ever think of even having when you start talking about guys like the Japanese and when we start hearing about guys like Daigo, I don't think I ever had the urge or feeling that I can remember thinking, wow, I want to beat Daigo. I want to be better than Daigo. I guess you could say from a certain perspective, maybe a selfish part of me, I always, when I thought about video games, I wanted to be the best that I could be, right? I want to be the best that I can be. I want to be, it wasn't I've never had a feeling of wanting to be better than a specific person. I just had the desire to be the best that I could be. Does that make sense? I'm sure from a certain perspective, some people say it's very egotistical. Some people will see the humbleness in that, I'm sure, depending on if you hate me or not. But again, I've never had that sort of, again, I talk about there's the killer instinct in video games. And I do think there is a killer instinct is important, right? You know what I mean? It's something that I've lacked as a player. But I've never had that killer instinct that I see somebody and I've heard about somebody like, I want to be better than that person. That's the one person I want to beat. Unlike this community, who you can see, Clayton Chapman, again, was it 1,000 matches? Was it 2,000? Whatever it was. You know what I mean? In 10, 14 years, whatever it was, whatever we counted. Can you imagine a community that is so insecure about what I've done in video games that they want to believe that they are so good that they still talk about me? Does that make sense? That they want to be better than me? They want to see me lose to Jason Riot, whatever, all these kinds of God damn it, we want to beat Clay. Why would you, as I take a drink of water, if your biggest concern in a video game is beating somebody who doesn't play seriously, are you really that good? And I've always said, again, I'm surprised by how much I win. I'm shocked. The audacity of my skill to beat people while not playing. You know what I mean? It's incredible. I'm surprised. And I've always said, people, I'm sure, because Plus R is not a game I've ever really played. It was a game that I really just did combo videos for. I was already out of the tournament scene. I did win some Accent Core tournaments, but I don't even really count those so much. I mean, technically I did win them, but I wasn't traveling all around America like these other things, right? But you know what I mean? It's just kind of if you are concerned about beating somebody that doesn't play, are you that good? And I am 100% sure. Of course, if these guys ever did beat me in anything, I bet they would brag about it. And it shows how insecure they are. Like, can you imagine bragging like that? Again, the Ultimate Clayton guy is so funny because the audacity of this motherfucker to have the same name as me. The audacity. The audacity. Right? And the thing is, like, I'm like laughing while I do these videos because and I'm sure the community's like, oh, Clayton, he's crazy. It's like, dude, I laugh about this stuff, dude. And I just shake my head at the delusional people in the video game community that still are mad that I was the one winning tournaments as a sick kid, right? You're never going to be better than me because you don't want to be the best version of yourself. You are focused on like the boogeyman. You know what I mean? The monster under the bed, monster under the closet, whatever it's called. You know what I mean? It's weird, and I don't know. Maybe other people do. I don't know if I've ever had a conversation with real friends about that. Maybe I should ask them. Do they ever have like, I want to beat that guy? That's the one guy I can't stand losing to. I can't stand losing to Clayton. There's so many other people that actually play the game seriously, but no, Clayton is the guy I got to be, right? Again, I've never. I can't. If I have, it was so quick in passing that I can't even recall it. You know, I can't recall ever having those kind of feelings of like, that's the one guy I gotta beat. I want to be better than that one single guy. I've always just wanted to be the best that I could be. And again, I don't even have this competitive ego anymore. You know what I mean? It's just, I just don't care. I know that what I've done in video games. I know you guys don't have the excuses I have. You haven't had surgery on your hands. You haven't had to teach yourself to play on another apparatus. You know what I mean? You don't have you're not living in and out of a hospital. I mean, do you guys know what it's like to live in and out of a hospital? How fucking tired you are, dude? Do you know what I mean? Do you know how much energy it takes to concentrate to play a video game? That's why I'm like, I'm fine with just, I can think about a video game so I don't have to play. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, if I have energy, I want to be the most healthy Clayton Chapman I can be, right? You know what I mean? I'm trying to be the best I can be. You know, I'm not concerned about, oh, would I beat Jason Riot? Why the fuck would I care if I beat Jason Riot or not? The dude plays the game a bajillion times more than me. I'm not impressed. What a stupid goal to be, oh, I hope Clayton fights with Jason Riot because he's considered good and we got to see him lose to somebody. You're concerned about beating a guy who has 1,000 matches in 10, 14 years? Sounds like you should have something better to do, right? And on that note too, because of this, I see these guys, you know what I mean? So many of these combo guys, they're so dedicated to. Some of these combo guys are dedicated to trying to replicate what I have done combo wise, right? Of course, you know, with macros and all this other kind of stuff, it's not even the same, right? But I thought it was funny too because, and I'm saying this because you know these motherfuckers would talk shit about me. So these guys were talking about, oh, I want to see Kai Mir matches, blah, 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 blah. Me and he posts on my channel, I'm sorry. Atlanta, Georgia have played some sets and we've joked about maybe we should put those sets up or something like that. But of course you wouldn't want to show Clayton winning, right? Don't want to show Clayton winning. So we'll say that maybe those matches don't exist, right? But these guys there's a set of me and Strawberry on YouTube if you want to see it. Although Strawberry was a little rusty during the set, so that's not their normal full potential. Still, it's a good set to see. You know, the whole point is, I just see this because you just know he's a little rusty during this set. It's not his full potential. And yet the Guilty Gear community is so obsessed with beating me when I have 1,000 matches in 10, 14 years. A little rusty. I don't think there's anything wrong with, you know, everyone has their own insecurities and everything like that. But it just goes to show you if I were to say something like that, you know, the community would be like, "Oh no, he has no, we don't believe it. No, Clayton, he was playing at full potential. He wasn't just out of the hospital. He hasn't had surgery on his." Can you imagine? You know, these motherfuckers would use any excuse, you know what I mean, for if they lost to me, or if I lost, I would never be able to have any excuse. You know, just insanity of the video game community, and people wonder why I stay away from you motherfuckers. But you know, look, like I said, I just thought that's funny. Hopefully, you get what I'm getting at. You guys will never be as good as me at video games because you're not me, and you shouldn't try to be me. You don't want to be Clayton Chapman in the first place. Trust me, my life is not that great. You know what I mean? Use your brain. My health is not actually. You know what I mean? Oh, Clayton's not sick. It's all fake. You know what I mean? Are you an idiot? Are you a fucking idiot? You think it's all fake? I would love. That's why I say I have no fucking sympathy if people got sick like I did. Good riddance to you motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Get a real fucking problem other than a video game, right? You know what I mean? You guys don't want to be Clayton Chapman. The point is. You know what I mean? So the point is, you should be trying to be the best person you should be. You don't. Why the fuck do you care about beating a person that doesn't play the game seriously? Why the fuck do you care about trying to replicate all this stuff that I've done in video games, and then you don't even use it with the same rule set? Oh God, I'm gonna do everything that Clayton did, but I'm gonna be macroing, and I'm gonna be doing all this other stuff to make it easy. I'm not gonna be doing it in real matches. And oh yeah, did I tell you guys that I said it was fake before? You're not doing what I did. It's not the same. Just like even if you hear me talk about combo videos and all that kind of stuff in tech-wise, I you know what I mean? The only time, and I've said this before, that I ever even bring up other people, you know, tech-wise, if I've ever asked what other people are doing, is to make sure that I'm still doing stuff that no one else has ever done. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to put out stuff that is just, oh, I'm just copying someone else. I don't care about getting like a pat on the back that like, oh, Clayton did something, but someone else already did that. I want to change the perspective on video games, right? You know what I mean? That's what I like. I like that I put out tech that no one else has ever thought of, and it's changed the perspective on what is possible in video games, right? You know what I mean? That's why, you know, for all these combo videos, every now and then I'll be like, hey, is this new? You know, an example, what can I say? This video's getting real long. Say when I did those Marvel vs. Capcom 2 videos, there was no, oh, I want to be better than, I think it's Magnetro is a combo guy for Marvel, you know, Mike Z, whatever, who's ever done stuff for Marvel too. There was never a desire to be like, oh, I want to be better than Mike Z. I want to be better than Magnetro, whatever it would want to be. I even asked Mike Z, I was just like, hey, I'm going to put out some stuff, but I only want to put it up if it's new. You know what I mean? There was no ego of me trying to be like, oh, I'm going to do more than Mike Z has ever done or more than Magnetro has ever done. I think I just want to be the best Clayton Chapman I can be. And you know what I mean? I was humble in the sense like, hey, I know you know more than I know about the game. Just let me know if this is new. If it's new, I'm going to put it out. There's no ego that, oh my God, I did something. You know what I mean? Oh, I got to be better now than Mike Z because he never thought of this or some bullshit. You know what I mean? It wasn't about that, right? And just like all these other stuff I've done for video games, all I want to know is I'm not trying to be better, better than some specific person. There's no specific villain for me to beat. Does that make sense? There's no villain. I'm not the hero trying to beat a specific villain in like the tech community, right? I know what I've done. As a whole, you know what I mean? As I rainbow guys, thumbs up for the rainbow. You know what I mean? As a whole, you know, everything that I've done for, you know, video games, fighting game wise, I already know that I've done more than all these other people, right? Does that make sense? It wasn't like, oh, there's this one villain I gotta beat. You know what? Mike Z, Magneto, they've done more than me in Marvel's Capcom 2. That's fine. I didn't do videos for that game to be better than a specific, quotation marks, we'll call them a villain for the sake of argument, right? You know what I mean? Just like, I mean, you could say from another perspective, because and the thing is, I never even, if you recall, I never even mentioned Desk before, but people bring him up to me so much because Desk is never the villain to me, right? There's never been like a desire that like, oh, Desk is the villain. I got to prove that I am better than him. I already know that I've done more than him, right? People are like, oh, you're so egotistical to say that. No, it's like, no, I've said good things about him. Execution-wise, he could be the best execution-wise ever. But he hasn't changed the perspective of games like I have. You know what I mean? So there's no like, oh, Desk is the villain. It was always like, when I do Tech Fuse, I want to be the best Clayton Chapman I can be. I have like a standard that I've set for myself. The standard of Clayton Chapman. Do you know what I mean? That is the standard I'm going for. To be the best Clayton Chapman I can be. And it just so happens that I've done more than these other guys. But there's not a specific villain, right? Do you get what I'm saying? If you keep trying to be someone else, you know what I mean? You're never going to be somebody else. You know what I mean? Even if I say, if we look at a not video game thing-wise, fitness-wise, oh my God, there's just bajillions of people that are more fit than me, right? I would love to be more fit. How long have I said that I would love to have another 5 pounds of muscle, upper body-wise, and get an Instagram butt? That would be sweet. I've been saying that for like 5-6 years. I'm just never going to get it, right? But there's no like villain of the fitness community to me. They're like, oh, I got to be better than that one guy. It's like, you know what, dude? I know the excuses I have health-wise, and I live with it. I just try to continue to be the best Clayton Chapman I can be. You know what I mean? Anyway, do you get what I'm saying? This was a pretty long video. Remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. That's for the 2% female viewership.